Greetings, Pastor Michael. Today is January 3rd, and I have for us to share a reading from Alcoholics Anonymous Daily Reflections. The topic of this reading is about Step 1 and powerlessness. And what we try to do today is we try to grasp and describe that notion of powerlessness. And therefore, under this condition, we're going to eventually acknowledge that our lives have become unmanageable. So let's get on with this evening's reading. Powerlessness. We admitted that we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. This is found on page 21 of the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. For today's reading, it goes on to explain that it is no coincidence that the very first step mentions powerlessness. An admission of personal powerlessness over alcohol is a cornerstone of the foundation of recovery. I have learned that I do not have the power and control that I thought I once had. I am powerless over what people think about me. I am powerless over having just missed the bus. I am powerless over how other people work or do not work the steps. But I have also learned that I am not powerless over some things. I am not powerless over my attitude. I am not powerless over my negativity. I am not powerless over assuming responsibility for my own recovery. I have the power to exert a positive influence on myself, my loved ones, and the world in which I live. Daily Reflections. So, this ends the reading from the Daily Reflections, but it certainly opens up an awful lot of opportunity for discussion. We have discussion here. If you cannot make it to our video or to our room in person, then please send us an email. The email address is minister@spiritofpeace.us. And in the subject line, put Powerless, Alcoholics Anonymous, AA, Step 1, anything to clue us in here to what the topic is that you'd like to discuss or you're reacting to. We want to hear from you. What you have to say is important to us. Well, at this time, let's revisit that Step 1 again. Alcoholics Anonymous Step 1 is, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. In our discussion here, we come to realize that not only do we have to admit our powerlessness, and then go on to admit that we just can't manage our lives very well by ourselves, but we also have to apply the principle of honesty. This is the AA principle of honesty. We're being honest with ourselves. We're being honest with our sponsor. We're being honest with our accountability partners. And we're going to see here real quickly as we pursue the steps, we're going to be honest to the higher power. Now, our music ministry enjoys reaching out there and finding songs that will be entertaining and also appropriate and support the topic of the day that we're discussing. And they found a song that was recommended to us. It's called Can't Stop. It's performed by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And it does, in my estimation, and I hope yours too, a pretty good job of demonstrating in a video song with a lot of good acting in there the powerlessness and compulsivity that comes with abusing a particular substance and the behavior that stems from this, and then dealing with the negative consequences. Oh, Lord, how are we going to manage to deal with those negative consequences unless we admit that we're powerless? And our lives have become unmanageable. So it's all tied in. It's kind of interesting if you listen to the tune and watch the video, it shows this just I can't stop type of behavior. I'm addicted to the shindig. Yep. That's what it's like. I can't stop and I'm addicted to the shindig. Thank my sponsor, I really do, to be introduced to step one. So, before we move on with our prayer to God, I ask us to take a moment and just reflect. What does this feeling of powerlessness mean to us? How do we acknowledge it and respond to it? And as we work our steps together, we're going to learn a few things. I know I have. And so I ask you, come to our blog, spiritofpeace.us. Come to our Facebook, Spirit of Peace Church. Navigate to Spirit on the A's. Navigate to Alcoholics Anonymous. Navigate to Step 1. Navigate to Can't Stop, Red Hot Chili Peppers. You'll find the link to the YouTube video there, and it really is very interesting. It's time to get on with our prayer. Dear God, thank you for being there. Thank you for bringing me to my sponsor. Thank you for bringing me to my accountability partners. Thank you for bringing me to this room where I can engage step one and come to realize that, whoa, there's nothing really all that different about me when it comes to dealing with alcoholism and putting the brakes on, coming to understand that I am powerless over alcohol. Whoa. I was just letting that go over my head. But now I'm learning some accountability. And my life has become unmanageable. That's a real important admission for me to make. And in time, you're going to help me, along with my sponsor and my accountability partners, to become better managed as I admit that I'm powerless. Dear Lord, thank you for being there to support me. I know there's some times where I'll let myself down, I'll let my family down, and I'll let you down. And I'll line them all up. I'm sure that I've let more than what I say here down. a little farther on in my steps, I'm going to learn how to account for that and how to identify that. But right now, let me just bask in the understanding that I'm powerless and my life has become unmanageable. Thank you for bringing me here, Lord, and thank you for helping me find so many people who will support me in this time of need. In your name, I trust and pray. Amen. With that said, please join us. We're looking forward to interacting with you. It makes our day. And as you go through the day, reflecting on that powerlessness and that unmanageability, just know that you've got a sponsor, you've got accountability partners, you have us, you have God. We're all interested in helping. And we know that this works. Just give it an opportunity. I hope for you some peace and joy and some serenity sometime in this day. May God bless you. Amen.